I now call this meeting of the Amateur Detective Club to order. I am Melissa Meli, the spy.
I'm Tyler Riley, cop and a half.
And you know it's me, Tristan the Saucy Sleuth, coming at you with these hot takes and great bakes.
Okay.
Today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/adcpod and browse the unmatched selection of audio programs. Download a title free and start listening. It's that easy. Go to audibletrial.com/adcpod. Hey, guys.
Hey,
Hi.
So we did another episode of Agatha Christie's Poirot,
Yes.
The Veiled Lady.
Ooh.
Yes.
Based off of the short story of the same name.
Yes.
Which you've covered before.
And yes, we have.
Yeah.
Y'all have.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you didn't.
Yeah, you didn't. So, well,
Fortunately, I remembered nothing about it.
oh, that is fortunate. That's why I was on Twitter for most of this one. I was like, yeah. The diamonds, ooh, do. Oh, the lady with the veil, oh, do.
Spoilers.
What, the diamonds get stolen within the first 30 seconds?
I know.
Oh, you're being sarcastic.
Yeah. So we come into this one and we're in like a market.
Yeah.
An indoor market.
Yeah.
And right in the middle of the day in the shop window, a man steals some. Oh, it is raining.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not relevant to you, our listener. It's not raining in the show. It's just raining in like right now.
I want you to take a moment and look out the window. Is it raining right now? If it is, this was recorded live for your amusement. It was live to tape.
Live to tape, yes, indeed.
I'm sorry, dude, my concept, I'm sorry, we do the show live. Don't you know this is a radio program?
I recorded this 2 weeks ago, so I don't know what.
Time is a construct. We're all already dead. Let's move on.
It's very wibbly wobbly.
Jeremy
Bearimy. Thank you. And that is a pop culture reference, just in case.
Two of them in a row.
Two right in a row.
So he's not wearing a mask when he robs the store.
No, this man is just full on broad daylight, walking into a store, pulling out a gun, and
he's real sweaty about it too.
Very
it's nasty.
sweaty. Sticking it up and saying, give me those necklaces. How much are those necklaces in the window? I don't care.
Free.
I think
it's a 5-finger and a gun sale today. My 5 fingers are holding a Derringer.
Yeah, so they're like, all right, cool, here's the necklaces. And then 5 seconds after the man steps out of the shop, the shopkeeper calls for help.
Stop, thief!
Yep, and then the guy hands his jewels to somebody else.
But we learn about that later. Through
in
Inspector,
the next scene.
Yeah, through Inspector Japp. And Poirot and Hastings are at a pond, a boat.
They're at a duck pond?
They're at a duck pond. And there are little sailboats, model sailboats on the duck pond. It's very Stuart Little. It's very, as Tyler brought up while we were watching, it's very Stuart Little. It's very cute, very charming.
Yes. This is what children did before television.
When they're not slaughtering pigs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why not both?
Yeah, they're on a bench talking about crime.
Yeah. Because Poirot asserts, all the criminals know me and they all fear me.
Yeah. And Japp is getting into describing this crime that we have just witnessed a scene before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Poirot, you'd find this very interesting.
That's not bad.
Thanks.
Dollar store Michael Caine, as I like to call him.
Yes. Detective James Japp, apparently. We learned in the previous episode.
JJ.
So apparently what we didn't see was that the jewel thief was apprehended very quickly, but his jewels in his pocket were fakes. They had replaced them with some dupes. Because he had handed them off to an associate.
Yes.
So they don't have the jewels back for reals.
A dumb jazz player named Dupe Ellington.
Gosh darn you. That's good. But then we cut to Hastings and Poirot walking through the park, having this conversation, and it cuts to them still having the same conversation as they walk into the door of the office. It's like, was there just like this giant gap of time where they went silent?
I disagree. I think Poirot's been just like hammering it home. You won't shut up about it.
But like the same thing for that. Well, in fairness, I don't know how long the walk is to the office from the duck pond. So fine.
But Poirot is saying, "Listen, it is a shame I am so moral because it's such a funny way to say it, but and he really does say it that way. But I would be such a good criminal." Detective Japp would not know what to do. Every day a new crime.
He would pull at his hair.
He would pull at his hair.
Which I think is very funny considering last episode I was like, Poirot has this weird moral ambiguity sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
So...
They're back in the office and Miss Lemon informs Poirot that there was a call for him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, a woman had stopped by. A veiled lady.
Ooh.
Oh.
Is that the name of the title of the episode?
Yeah.
Ooh, the
Sure
titular role.
And he asked for the woman's name. She didn't leave a name. She just wants him to meet her at a hotel. He's like, great, what's the room number? She was like, she didn't leave that either. Miss Lemon, why are you being the worst secretary this one time? So off to the hotel.
Yes, we got
the
hotel.
Athena Hotel. And they're looking around the lobby, and we're seeing like various people, and then a veiled woman, and then more people. And like, oh wait, it must be this veiled woman
She's
in the lobby.
Wearing a very elaborate looking.
A very
head
elaborate,
covering.
yet see-through.
Oh, completely see-through. You can see exactly what she looks like. But it is very elaborate.
So Hastings spots her first, nudges Poirot. They walk over to this woman, and she's like, oh, I'm being watched. And they're like, okay.
I'd be all by the eyes of God.
What do you want us to do about this? Like, we're in a hotel lobby. So then they find, like, this weird, like, upstairs, like, booth, like, seating area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she is chatting about her latest troubles, and she uncovers her face that we can already clearly see.
She's like, I trust you.
And Hastings says, my God, or something like that out loud when she unveils her face, which, first of all, we could all see. And second of all, Hastings, say it in your head, not out loud.
Yeah. He is just... Thank goodness he gets married later.
Yeah.
Like...
Spoilers.
It's in the books.
Not the ones I've read. Just kidding.
I got so confused.
It's in, like, book 2.
Yeah.
But all the short stories take place before Hastings is married. It's kind of confusing.
It is a little bit of a weird time jump, but he is just so in it for the ladies. Mm-hmm. And I weirdly respect that. Because I, too, would be into crime solving for the ladies. You know, ladies flock to detectives. We all know this. We've all seen Sherlock and Great Mouse Detective. Adrian Monk had to fend them away.
Yeah.
Anyway. So he's like, oh my gosh, you're so cute. And then she's like, I'm being blackmailed. This guy has a letter. He's hidden it in a secret
Chinese puzzle box.
Yeah. This is how suspicious at all.
But what's in the letter that's so incriminating? She's engaged to this guy, this very prominent, like, duke or whatever. And
they do say duke.
They do. It's great. I love Liquid You. So what's in this letter was apparently she had a boyfriend earlier in her life that was out mountaineering and then got lost in the mountains, as you do. But not before she sent him a letter that sounds like it might have been a little suggestive.
Mm-hmm.
And...
Anthony Weiner over there.
Who hasn't? You know, you're with somebody that's over yonder, wherever yonder is for you in your life. Mm-hmm. You're like, hey, gotta, you know.
I got a couple ideas.
Gotta keep them interested, you know? Gotta keep them.
Even Hamilton did it.
Yeah. And I'm sure that the letter said something like, were you here, I would kiss you on the full mouth.
Square on the lips.
It's like, it's
On
like
your supple, weird mouth.
enclosed in the drawing of her ankle.
Probably.
These are my little piggies you can look at. It's just ye old feet pics. Do you think pirates are into feet because they don't got none a lot of the time with the peg legs?
I'm sure that's the reason.
Yeah.
They're not
For any
missing
foot
both.
fetish.
Sometimes they are.
Both
Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're into... You know what?
Yeah, I know, I got it. Maybe they're into legging, yeah.
Cool.
This letter. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Tyler's mom.
So anyway, yeah, so it was probably like, by today's standards, extremely chaste, but I guess in those days, her Duke fiance would have called off the wedding in disgust for all that mouth kissing and ankle pics.
It's the name of my first album.
So she can't have that. And,
No.
Hastings is absolutely
Scandalized.
and horrified, not at her, because he gets it. He
Clearly gets it.
But that this man, this awful, awful man, would blackmail her.
Yeah.
Great. So then Poirot has devised a plan to go and steal, because he's asking an absurd amount of money of her and she can't come up with it. No way, no how.
They meet with the guy who's blackmailing her briefly.
He comes to the office.
Yeah, and they're like, oh boy.
And he just throws his hat right on the love seat.
Yeah.
No tact.
None.
Yeah, and he's basically like, what do you have to come up with at least 2,000 pounds by what, Tuesday?
20,000.
Oh, 20,000? Yeah, 20,000 pounds.
And he reduces it to 18,000 because,
he's
she's
feeling
such a
generous.
charming girl or whatever gross thing. So,
But he's going away to Paris for a bit.
He's going away to Paris for a bit, and they know exactly where he lives because this is a great scene. So Hastings runs out the door and tries to chase down the guy, which is the most Hastings thing ever. And Poirot walks
Hastings rushes in.
Hastings rushes in, and Poirot goes into his little nook, grabs his phone book, and looks up the guy's address.
There's this great line of like, oh, you generally don't look up people's addresses in the phone book. I do. And then he walks away.
Yeah.
Just slams him.
It's like, who would think to do that?
Have you been on
always?
So have you been on the Poirot Reddit at all?
No.
Okay, it's really worth your time, actually. It's very good. There's a bunch of videos of Poirot dunking on Hastings or various people, and then it cuts to rap. It's so good.
That does sound fun, actually.
Oh, I'll play some for you after the episode. I'll put the link in the show notes, hopefully if I remember. It's so funny.
Fantastic.
Oh.
Yeah, so what happens next? What does happen next?
Poirot.
Oh, yeah.
Poirot formulates an ingenious plan to dress up as a Swiss locksmith.
He wears a beret and he does not wax his mustache.
And he's in like a denim almost suit. He looks like Mario.
Yes.
It's very funny. And he's riding a bicycle, and it's just the first time we've ever seen him like in any other, not in a three-piece suit.
It was quite confusing.
I gasped audibly.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
So he shows up to the house, and the housekeeper, can't remember her name.
Doesn't matter.
But yeah, she's just like so over her job. She's so over her employer. And very over Poirot from the minute he shows up at her doorstep.
And he's like, listen, your guy, your boss, asked me to fix the locks while he was gone in Paris.
I just goes, oh, is that where he is? I can't keep up with him. These guys.
Basically.
Oh.
So Poirot goes into the other room and makes lots of banging and sawing sounds because that's how you fix locks, I guess.
I know two things about locks. One, they're great on bagels. Two, you have to saw a bunch, when you're making a lock out of wood.
I don't know how any of this works, except that that's probably not how it
Well,
works.
they're burglar-proof locks.
Not arson-proof locks, though.
Nope. Burglar-proof.
Yes.
Uh,
So he's
If
like,
the Human Torch is showing up to burgle this house, though,
No,
they're
boy.
in trouble.
trouble.
for a lot of reasons. What's going on? What's going on with Johnny Flame, where he's turned to a life of crime?
Yes, but
How is he real?
It's a terrific 3, not the Fantastic 4 at this point.
Yeah, the truth.
so he's like, all right, cool, nice to see you, goodbye, coming back tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the next thing
The housekeeper does mention that she does not live at the house.
Oh,
though.
she does mention that.
She is not a live-in housekeeper.
Yep, that's what she says.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. So then we see at night. It is now night. Night has fallen. And Hastings and Poirot come up looking like the wet bandits from Home Alone.
Alternatively, what are the names of those two bumbling idiots from 101 Dalmatians?
I wish
Yeah.
I could remember.
Yeah, but
that's
they
what I
look-
thought about it first.
Yeah, because they're in these like goofy
Yeah.
outfits. Poirot has like a stocking cap.
Yes, they're dressed all in black. And Poirot has, of course, fixed his mustache, though. I mean, let's be honest.
With a sticky Marv.
Oh, the Sticky Bandits, yeah. That's right.
Which
They're not the wet bandits, the Sticky Bandits? What,
the
Sticky?
first one, they're the Wet
Oh.
Bandits, and then the second movie, they're the Sticky Bandits.
Oh my god.
Because Marv keeps coming up with weird
Oh boy.
bandit names.
Excellent.
And Harry is just like, what? I just want money.
And what is this from?
Home Alone 1 and 2.
I haven't seen this.
I
That's
know.
right. So they come up to burgle this house.
So silly.
And they look all over everywhere. We get a montage of them looking in.
It's very good physical comedy.
It is.
At one time, Hastings accidentally flushes a turlet. It's very fun.
Poirot looks underneath a tub. Mm-hmm. And again, spiders.
Yeah, there are spiders there. But yeah, they cannot find this box anywhere. Finally, Poirot, he's like, I must use my little gray cells. And he sits down on the staircase and closes his eyes. Cool as a cucumber. And then he's
That's
like,
the best.
oh, it's so good. It's like, aha, I have it. And then they go down to
The kitchen.
the kitchen and they find the log pile. And in one of the logs, they open it up and there is the box.
And Hastings says, oh, well, anyone could have used these logs. And Poirot says, in July?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just so presumably handsome for the time. I don't know.
Tristan's looking at me.
Wait, for who's handsome?
It was Hastings, presumably, because he just offers so...
Oh, he's
he's-
a pleasant-looking gentleman for
Yeah.
his age.
Okay. He's
Yeah.
just gotta have... Maybe he's
I'm
just
not
so
into
nice. He's just
but-
must be so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
He's got an imagination and just a raging appetite. Like me. Can we please move on?
We're ready.
so they get this puzzle box and then the housekeeper comes downstairs, has figured out that
Forgot about this part!
because she did lie, because she does live there. And she runs out onto the street, and fortunately there was just a policeman passing by, and she's like, there are men burgling this house that I live in. And the policeman's like, oh, cool, yeah, I'm coming. And he does, and he arrests... This is the best moment.
Yeah.
Hastings makes a run for it and crashes out the window. And of course, the housekeeper recognizes Poirot and is like, don't worry about that other guy. This is the ringleader. This is your guy. Just arrest him. So he does arrest Poirot, and Poirot does go to jail. And Hastings tells Jap, who very comically comes to bail Poirot out in the morning.
It's so funny. 'Cause he's like, it's like you didn't give his name. He's like, yeah, they don't know his name. They just call him Mad Dog. Trying to get him for weeks. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's very good.
And Poirot's having none of it. He's so mad.
Yeah.
He's so angry.
He comes to the office.
He comes to the office and sees Hastings poring over this puzzle box, and he's like, what the heck?
Zutilor.
Yeah, you just ran. And he's like, yeah, because who else was going to ask Jap to come and get you if I didn't escape?
So,
And he's like,
Really,
you
I
have
did you
gotten
a
a
favor.
good night's sleep, and I have not. And Hastings says, no, actually, I've been sitting here trying to work out this puzzle box all night. I would have given up in an hour at most. I would have just thrown it against a wall.
That's fair.
No. Yeah, I do. I would, especially not while that's all you're doing. Like, if it was in front of it, like a TV show, which they didn't have at the time, to be fair. I was sitting in front of the TV working on that puzzle box, I could sit there for a longer period of time. But if that was all I was doing, and that was literally all of my attention, I would, so tedious.
I don't know. I would have taken to a barn for a pig slaughter and try to work it out while the pigs were getting killed.
Sure.
Again with this.
Yeah.
I'm really upset we've opened this door into your psyche.
Says, okay, let me take a look at the box, and pretty much, opens it immediately.
Yeah.
And the letter comes popping out. Yeah.
Poirot reads said letter, and Hastings is like, how dare you read this letter? And Poirot's like, I need to know if she's being honest about this letter. Like, this whole situation is super shady.
I love that it also points out how he was proclaiming to be so moral in the beginning, and then he's made a series of choices that disprove that, and I don't think he's aware of it, but I think Hastings is.
No, he's aware of it.
But it's for the greater good.
Yeah,
The
because when
greater
he goes, and this is the next bit, when he goes to meet up with the veiled lady once again.
I believe Mrs. Lady is the...
Okay.
Ms.
Lady.
Ms. Lady.
They meet at a museum because the hotel is no longer safe for undisclosed reasons.
Sure.
When he's giving the letter back, he informs her that he used pretty nefarious purposes to go about getting this letter
That is
back.
fair.
So he is very self-aware about that.
Yeah. But we do learn also at some point in here from Jap that the man who is purportedly blackmailing her is actually dead.
Yeah,
Yes.
after he picks him up from the jail.
Yeah. So the guy who owns that house is dead.
Yeah.
He went traveling and died or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
The way you do.
yeah.
Don't travel, folks.
Because you'll die.
Yeah.
Hey. We don't even know anymore.
Shenanigans.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It sounded like a fart out there. And it made me...
Yeah. I heard it too.
Okay.
Okay, so...
They're at the museum.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and she, Miss Lady is inquiring about
Miss Lady.
inquiring about where the puzzle box went to.
Which is normal and good.
Yeah, because it's here's your letter. And
Oh,
she's
thank goodness.
Great. What about the box?
Did you,
Did you get the box?
did you happen to... Shoot. I mean, I would just love that box as a souvenir.
Oh, I think I threw it out.
Oh no, it's in. And then Hastings is like, "Oh no, did you put it in your pocket?" And it's like, "Great, thanks, Hastings."
Such a sweet man.
But then he gets it out of his pocket, and they have, an over the table "Oh, but I want to have it
Push
as a
and pull.
souvenir.
It's
Oh,
so-
but I want to have it.
It's-
Push, pull, push,
It's
pull."
like something out of it's something out of a commedia dell'arte sketch. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And so,
Wabbit season. Duck season.
yeah.
Very
Basically.
goofy.
So eventually, Poirot pops the box open and says, "This is where the letter was." But there is another side. Pops the other side open. And then a whole bunch of jewels just come flowing out the other side.
The rock is in the building.
So
Diamonds.
Diamonds and rubies and emeralds.
Oh my.
These are all the ones from the robbery.
Shot through the heart. Oh my god.
What?
Just yeah. Oh. There comes a point when we do 2 episodes in one day where Melissa's patience with me as a free associative artist just absolutely winnows into oblivion. All these diamonds just spill out, and he's like, "You took them from the robbery. And
You were the co-conspirator."
Yeah, but the man who's been following her this whole time, that was pretending to be Waverly.
No, that's his
Weatherly.
Weatherly is his actual name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, pretending to be
The blackmailer.
Yeah.
Livingston or something like that. Doesn't matter. The blackmailer.
Yeah. Runs and tells the
Security guards.
of the museum that
so
Jap has stolen something from the museum, and they come to try and arrest him. And during that time, both the veiled lady and the follower make a break for it. And it's really fun in the scene where they confront her. She goes, "Oh, nuts," and then starts talking like this, and it's really
because
cute.
she's speaking in very proper accent.
Which I actually noted at the beginning.
Is not.
Yeah, very tight jaw.
Yeah, just absolutely.
So
Like
technical.
even Keira
Like
Knightley's
she-
like, relax.
Yeah. Yeah. And then just becomes
A chase scene.
yeah.
And they hide underneath a bunch of blankets.
There's a mammal exhibit in the museum
That's
that is
closed off.
Yeah, Mammal Exhibit is my favorite alternative rock band.
Yeah, exactly. So they're hiding under this one big cloth and with a bear,
Yeah,
a growling, teeth-bared bear.
I would say a grizzly bear.
Sure.
I thought it was pretty well groomed.
Oh dear. So they're both hiding with the bear, and they cannot. No one can find him.
No. And then a little kitty cat is like, I smell somebody.
Yeah.
I want to get those pets. I want to get those pets, but I'm going to ignore Hastings, and I'm going to go straight
To
the bear.
the bear and the people hiding underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
So they do eventually catch them and take them down to the station,
Yeah.
like arrest them.
And then it cuts to the park again, the duck pond. And
Yeah.
they've got a big old sailboat.
Big
Yeah,
old model
Poirot
sailboat.
and
Yeah.
Jap.
And Hastings.
Yeah. Well, it's
Oh.
Was he
Poirot.
there?
Yeah, Hastings, it's Hastings' boat.
Yeah, he's the one carrying the boat.
Yeah, and then he sits in the
I
water.
completely forgot about Hastings.
I mean, that seems about But it ends on this really weird note of like, Chap goes, "Do you ever go in the ocean, Poirot?" And he's like, "No, this is as close as I want to be." And then Chap says, "Oh, I dream of the ocean." And then it just cuts to black.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
That's it, I guess, for this one.
I mean,
Bye.
make me get.
Yeah, that's all.
so strange.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, so what did you think of this episode? I liked it. I thought it was a decent adaptation of the short story from what I remember of it. It pretty much hits all of the beats. I liked all the humor in it was very effective. I enjoyed that a lot. I enjoyed the whole twist at the end with her dropping the accent. I thought that was hysterical.
Yeah.
I thought, I can't remember his name. I tried to remember it, but the man who plays Jap was really, really good in this episode.
Oh, yeah, he was great.
I love him more and more, and I'm glad we're seeing more of him. So overall, I'd say like a 3.5 or 4 out of 5. Like this one a lot.
Yeah.
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 I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep.
5 out of 5. This is my favorite episode.
Yeah!
I really, really enjoyed it.
All right.
I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I went first, so we can build up that suspense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought everyone did a great job. I love just... This was just such a comical episode, but it didn't seem like much of a departure from the structure of what we're used to.
Yes,
it was
absolutely.
very light and bright. It gave me some number one ladies detective vibes in the way it was kind of structured.
Mm-hmm.
And again, no one had to die.
Yeah, no one had to die, and there wasn't a lot of...
See,
you know?
Yeah.
well, the guy did die, but we didn't see it.
Yeah, we never met him.
Yeah.
He was already dead by the time the
And he
episode
wasn't
started.
murdered.
He was, actually.
He was?
The criminals followed him and killed him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I missed that.
Oh, yeah.
4.5.
Oh, see, I take points off for no murder.
There was very little like xenophobia as well. Just the housemaid not knowing, the housekeeper rather, not knowing where Poirot is from and accusing him that he's Chinese. It was very strange. I know it's not like so much like xenophobia or racism, but just like ignorance of like, I don't know where that accent's from.
But it was like very much like, of course he did it because he's not from here.
That's
kind of,
also
so
true,
why-
yeah. Which is kind of a bummer, but...
I would argue for xenophobia in this episode.
No. It's effective as a...
Yeah.
You know, that would probably happen, and it makes sense
Absolutely.
with the plot.
Yep.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, big fan. Like this one a lot. Like the short story, too, when we read it.
Yeah, I still don't remember it, but I guess it was this.
Tyler, you should listen to the short stories if you want to. They're really fun. They're generally short, obviously, but David Suchet reads them rather than Hugh Fraser. Which, by the way, every time he speaks, on the show, I do get confused because I'm so used to him reading the books. I'm like, am I listening to a book right now? What is happening? He's so familiar to me at this point. It's very interesting.
Well, if I do listen to it, I'll be sure to use audible.com or audibletrial.com/ADCpod.
Please use that. We need the money.
Oh, okay. Oh, really?
Please. No. We do, but we don't. It's fine, but we'd like it. We're not mad, we're disappointed.
He doesn't mean it.
No, we're not.
We love you.
audibletrial.com/ADCpod.
Strong finish. You can go to patreon.com to support us there at Tristan. You can go to...
Quite a URL.
Yeah.
Could you give the bit.ly, please?
bit.ly/talking llama. I'm gonna just put that in the middle. I'm good. I'm good. Close it up. Close the gates.
Okay, we're gonna call this meeting to a close.
Gavel sound?
Yeah.